Hello, good morning everybody. Thank you for coming to join me this morning. I just wanted to come along and share with you a few things that I'm doing at the moment. I'm finding it quite hard here in the UK. My anxieties are quite high at the moment. We're in full lockdown again, so crafting at the moment is my saviour, if you like. So I just thought I'd come along and share with you what I've been doing. Rachel Roxy Creations had or is doing a challenge for herself. And I thought I would give it a go as well. Sorry, Rachel, I didn't get very far. I find it quite hard mask making because the inspiration for me comes as I'm making a journal rather than make a lot of ephemera in preparation for the journal, if that makes sense. But I did give it a go. I was sorting out, I'm about to start a project for Rachel. And so I was sorting out some of the papers that I'd already got for her. And I found some of her ephemera kit that I'd printed out with kind of larger cards in that I had cut out and hadn't used. So I went ahead and decorated some of them. It's a garden journal that I'm going to be doing. So, sorry, Rachel, I have copied you and put a butterfly on, but this butterfly fell onto this card and I just thought it looked so pretty. So I did that one. That's fussy cut out of one of Rachel's tags and one of her doilies, and I've put that on a tag. I have backed them in paper, so they're stiffer, but I haven't backed them or put the toppers on them yet. So there's that one. That one I've put some fussy cut mushrooms on and a label. Again, these are all Rachel's papers, cards from one of the ephemera sets. So that one's got owls on, a Tracy label. And then that one, it's just a fussy cut flower that I had and one of the labels. So I did do those in preparation for the journal that I'm starting. And then I went through some old books that I had, and I have backed these as well. And so I have got some backgrounds, some bases that are ready and good to go, and they are in different sizes. So I kind of half did what Rachel was doing in her challenge, but didn't finish it. So I gave it a good try, but I will continue with those. I've also got a couple of journals that I've made, and I just need to do the flip throughs of them. So this one is one that I've made with Artie Mazer's winter kit. Sorry, it's just evaded me what the actual kit's called. It is her winter kit, so I will do a flip through of that one. And then I finished the cloth journal that I'd been making. Totally inspired by Rachel, this bag with the edging on, and I've got that one finished as well. So I will do a flip through of those two journals, and then, as I say, I'm working on a couple of journals at the moment. I'm doing a design team project, or a guest design team project, for Amy at Crafty Cat, and I've got both of her Valentine kits. One is called Old Love Notes and the other one is Darling Valentine. The Darling Valentine is the most recent one. So I've been sat stitching, and I've done a slow stitch cover for one. That's going to goes that way round. That's going to go on the front with the decoration on, and that will be one cover. So soft cover. So that cover's nearly finished. And then yesterday I finished off this cover, which is just some fabrics that are sewn in a strip. Just untie it so I can explain it better. So fabrics that are cut in a strip and stitched on. And then this is a pocket that goes all the way, and it actually goes all the way on the inside as well. And then I've cut the papers, and this is just trying to think. This is the older kit. That's right. So this is Old Love Notes that's going in this one. So I've put all those papers together this morning. So I've got the bases of that one done. So that one's ready to decorate. And then I've got all the papers. Sorry, those ones are Rachel's papers, aren't they? So I've got all the papers ready to decorate that one. and I've also got the Darling Valentine one, which will go in the other cover. So they're all ready to go as well. So I am organised, although I may not look organised, but in my mind I know what I'm doing. So as I say, I'm working on a couple of projects at the moment. I'm working on this book. I hope you can see it all right. It is dark here in the UK, and I have got a ring light now, but it's still quite dismal here. So this is an old book from 1910, and it's called The Ideal Garden, and it's just a beautiful cover. Hope you can see it. It's about 5 inches by, I think it's about 9. Let's give it a quick measure. Oh no, I'm wrong. About 8. Yep, 9 by, where are we? About 5.5 by 8. So it should be good for doing a journaling. We're not having to shrink the papers down is what I mean. So when I got this book, as I say, it's 1910. The pages were already broken, so they have already come out of it. But it does have some nice illustrations in there. And I wasn't sure what to do with the cover because the fabric was split down here. It was torn. It was torn there. The top, I don't know if you can see that, but the top was torn. It was worn away. It is 110 years old, so, you know, it is worn. But I've watched quite a few videos, and I'd like to thank Sunnyside Journals for her inspiration, and also Nancy from Wishes and Weeds for the, they fix old book covers. And so I threw myself into it. And what I've actually done is I've lined it. It's got underneath here, it's got a piece of craft text that I had for the spine to support the actual curve of the spine. And then on the inside, I've painted some calico in a green that to match the colour of this. And you can just see it if you look at the top there. Can you see it peeking above? So I'd like to say that, well, I think it's an honest restoration. So you can see where the book was worn, completely worn away. And then I've got the new spine behind it that's painted green, so you can actually see it. But it does actually now feel quite sturdy. It's well glued. The tears are fixed. So I am very pleased with that. And that is going to be a garden journal, Ideal Garden, and I'm using Rachel's kits to do that. And I've already made one pocket that's going to be a flip, so that's good to go, and that's just going to go in, you know, as it does. So I'm making bits and pieces to go with that, and then as we do, we look on YouTube and we get inspiration. And so I thought I would show you what I've been doing. Let me find what I've been doing. Is it this one? Yeah. So I was watching Gayle Agostinelli. She's been making some flaps and tucks. And this is one that she made. And I'm sorry, Gayle, I can't remember who it was that you said had inspired you to do it. But it's a... Sorry, am I in frame there? So it's a flip out. And it has these glue down on 3 sides onto the page. And I've got some cards ready that will go in those. That's the top one because it's a bit lower. And then that one will go in the bottom one, like that. And then it flips over there. I think Gayle put a pad of notepaper in here, but I quite liked that was as it is. And this is... the papers that I've used in this one are from Crafty Cat, and that's the Old Love Notes papers. And I've just changed it a bit for me because it reminded me as well of the pockets that Amy from Crafty Cat's been doing. And so I've put a pocket on the front of mine. So you can see there's a pocket. And that's going to go in one of the journals that I'm doing. And I thought, well, I'll just turn the camera on and show you my interpretation and how I've been doing them. I had actually started one to go in the garden journal. So that's going to be the pocket. Oh, sorry, if I keep going off screen, I do apologise. So that will be the pocket. on the front, and then it will flip out there. Those two will be pockets, and then there'll be a writing space or another tuck spot or something just there. That old book, I don't want to put too much in it. It's going to be more a writing book with a lot of small signatures in rather than a couple of big ones, because it is an old book and I don't want to put too much pressure on the spine. So I thought I would just finish off this one with you, and then you can see what I've been doing. So I've already covered the pocket that's going to go on the front, and I'm going to put that piece up there. It's not quite big enough, but I don't mind. I quite like that you can see what's behind it. So I'll put some glue on there. Hopefully you can see. And I wanted the stamp at the top. Yeah, perfect. So I've inked around the edge so that, you know, you can see the book page that I've got there, but as I say, I don't mind that. And I've got some glue. Do I want to cut a little nick in that? Yeah, I think I probably do. God knows where that little bit went. Sorry. I get all fingers and thumbs when I'm recording what I'm doing. I do get so very nervous. So I apologise for that. And I always feel I have gluing issues when I'm gluing on camera as well. Let me just turn that round so I can see what I'm doing. I'm sorry if I get my head in camera. I know you don't want to see my head. There we go. Isn't that pretty? So that's a little pocket there at the top. And then on the, oopsie daisy, let me just move those out of the way. Then on the inside, I want this piece to be writing. What have I got? Quick flick through Rachel's papers that I've got here. These are papers that I've had printed before. No, I don't think I'll get all the, well, I could get all the butterfly in. What do we think? So that should be, it's about 3 inches there. I'm not going to get him all in, am I? Maybe I should go with the buzzy bees. Or actually, I think what I'm going to do is go for the middle bit. Because I say I do want it as a writing bit, and then I can use those two as tags. So if I tear that around there, and I can save that piece as a tag. I'm not very good with my tear ruler, but if I just mark it roughly where I want it to be, I know I want it to be 3 inches, but I want it to be a bit less than 3. I hope you can see okay. And then that as well, I've got that bit left that I can use then for a lovely butterfly. See if I know it is just that little bit too wide. So if I take it, a snippet off, this is where it goes horribly wrong. I never know, do it quick, do it slow, which one's the best. I want that writing on as well, keep that on. The writing at the bottom, yeah, that's better. I don't mind that you can see the book page underneath. It's actually from a Bradshaw's reprint of the Bradshaw's Railway Guide, so I don't mind that we can see it. A little bit of inking on there, not a lot. And I'll stick that on. So I don't know how you're all doing. As I say, here in the UK, we're back on full lockdown, and it just, oh, it drives me around the twist. It really does. I can't see my grandkids. I'm seeing my mum because my mum's 84 and lives on her own. So I'm her support. So she's actually got her first jab tomorrow. So I take her for that. One of my sons has been furloughed now since March, and I don't know if he'll ever get back to work, so that's a real worry for me. But hey ho, there's not a lot that I can do. I just have to stay in and hope that everything's going to be okay. I'm sure it will eventually. It's just while we're waiting, isn't it? And what to put on the inside. I do love this paper. Yeah, I think I'm going to go with that. So. Tear that off there. And these pockets, again, are 3 inches. So I need that to be 3 inches. Oops, sorry, I do beg your pardon, knocking you. I want it less than 3 inches again because I don't want it to overhang. I know some people don't mind whether, you know, they just tear it, but I'm a bit weird that way. I think I like things to be right. Just cover that pocket. And, oops, Daisy. Close that so I can see where. About there, isn't it? Okay. Oh, it's here. Wondered where that one had gone then. Which way did it go? That way, didn't it? Oh well. Yes. No. Did that fit? Yep, so that one on there. Yeah, I like that. No, that one doesn't fit. What are you doing, Carol? You're being an Anna bum. There we go. It may hang over that side a little bit. If it does, then I will trim it down. That's it. It does fit. Oops. And then that will go on there. And then when it's dry, I will cut a couple of notches, so a notch in there and a notch in there, and then that will stick down there on those 3 sides and those 3 sides, and there'll be cards that go in there and a card that goes in there. So that's that one. It's a bit sticky, so I'm going to put it over here to dry. And I thought about different ways of doing it. That one, so I just move those papers out the way so I don't get too crammed in. I know that ring light does shine on there. I'll just move that. I thought about different ways of doing it. And when I make something, what I tend to do is do a rough, cut it out of paper, make it as an example, and then I write on the paper what size of paper I made, where I scored it and what I did with it. So that's what I use. So if I just show you based on this, because this will go in my how-to box. wondered if I had another one that I could show you, but I don't think I have got one handy. So this one I cut 9 by 7, and of course you can do it however you want it. It depends how tall you want it on your page. So 9 by 7. And if this works out on screen, it will be a miracle. So 9 by 7. Excuse my big scoring mat. I know it's enormous. So I'm doing mine 3 inches wide finished. So if I score it at 3, and then I want a pocket on the front, so I'm going to score it at 3 again. And fold that. And then I'm going to score it at 3 again. And then that gives me a flap. It is too big, I know, but it will give me a nice flap that I can then have as a pocket. So that will be a pocket as well as writing space, and then these are going to be the 2 tags on the back, 2 pockets on the back. So it's 7 inches, which is half of that is 3.5. So I'm just going to score 3.5 to the centre. And then, sorry, I can't see the line terribly well, but I'm only going to cut that as far as the crease. So that makes my 2 pockets that will go on, stick on the page. Yep. And then this is going to be the pocket. Now obviously I want to close the bottom of that. So just thinking, do I want it 7 inches tall? My pages are usually 8, so yeah, I will do this one at 7. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, excuse me reaching, I'm going to glue this down to be a pocket. Sorry, I was just thinking whether to glue it now. Come on, glue. There we go. I could cut this flap down a little bit if I wanted to. And fold that over. Oops, beg your pardon, I've knocked you again, haven't I? I will get used to this. So as you can see, that makes a tube. So that's going to be the pocket. And of course I could do this the opposite way, because it doesn't matter which way the writing's going, because that's going to be covered anyway. So I think this one I'm going to do the opposite way. So this is going to be the bottom, so I'm just going to glue. Is my glue coming out? Hopefully it is. Glue across the bottom there. That should catch quite quickly, so you can see, hope you can see that that bottom, oh, isn't sealed. It will be. Of course, if you wanted to, you know, you could make it that bit longer and do a flap to turn up, but I'm quite happy to do it that way. You can fit quite a good tag in there. So that's going to be the same. It's going to be decorated on the front. It is a pocket. And then it's going to have the 2 tucks just there. So for that one I wanted to use Amy's Darling Valentine papers. Just bring them a bit closer. Just finding something. I'd have to cut her head off. I don't want to cut her head off. That might be quite nice on the front actually. My idea was I'm doing 2 journals each with the papers in. So I thought the Darling Valentine, I'd mix the papers up slightly. Oh, she's very pretty, isn't she? And so's he. Very pretty papers, Amy. I don't like having to chop things off. That might be nice for the inside. Okay, so I think I'm going to go with, I think I will go with that little girl. Decision made. This is where it takes me so long. I do prevaricate and think about and worry about what I'm putting on the fronts. How far do I want that in actually? I want to get as much of that as possible, don't I? Just put quick marks on there. Oopsie. Sorry, I do hope you can see. I apologise if you can't. I'm doing it that way this time, aren't I? Yeah, like that. I like that very much. Tear that off there. And there. Glue, sorry. My husband's decided that while we're on lockdown, he's going to clear the loft. We've been married 41 years, so you can imagine we do have a lot up there, and it's just such a mess up there, and we want to put some more insulation up there and sort out what's up there. So he's been bringing the boxes down today. Oh my lordy, the things that you keep. We've actually found shoe boxes of my 3 sons' first pairs of shoes. Why did I keep those? But I've put them in a box to go back up the loft. I just can't bring myself to say it's time for them to go. Now, what do we think about that on there? That might work, mightn't it? Or do we want it to be pale? Actually, that gives quite a nice writing space, doesn't it? Yep. I'll just do that. So yeah, I don't know what he's going to bring down next in the boxes. It's quite hard for me to look because it always pulls on my heartstrings, and oh no, we can't get rid of that. And do we really want to get rid of that? And to be fair, he has said, you know, if you're not sure, if you don't think you're ready to get rid just yet, then back up the loft it goes. But we're trying to rebox things. So that they're not going to get as dirty and dusty up there. So we will see. We will see. And then I'll cut that there. There we go. do need a new glue page as well. Yeah, I've got that the right way up, haven't I? Everything's sticking to it. Wonky. And then I can ink these edges up as well. And then I need to just cover those two, don't I? And you know, for that, I think I'm going to use these. Use those ones. On these papers of Amy's, I know she said that some of them, like this, has got slight inking on the background. And the others, I think she said that you can use for transparencies. So you could print it on to, what's the word, tracing paper, or what's the other stuff, vellum, of which I don't have vellum. I have got some tracing paper, so I think I might do a page of that to go in as well. So again, 3 inches wide for the pockets. Just short of. So you can see it does, these do come together. Oh, I'm sorry, I do keep knocking you. It's because it's just above my head. These do come together quite quickly. Oops, wrong ruler. Carol, what are you doing? That one on there. Hope you can see. It is difficult doing a video and not getting your head in camera, but being able to see what it is you're doing. The other thing I like about these papers as well is it's not directional, so even I can't mess that up. You can put them on it any way that you want. Yep, definitely another glue page is required. There we go. So that one, isn't that pretty? So again, that's a pocket, so I'll cut a little divot up there. Some nice writing space there, and I might put some extra papers, I'm not sure yet. And then these will be pockets, again, like on the other one. So I now have 3. Haven't I done well? Oops. So I've got the one that I'd done originally, and I've got my cards ready for that. I put Rachel's off to dry, didn't I? So I've got Rachel's there. That's going in, and then I've got this one as well. So 3. Very proud of myself for that. The other thing as well that I'll do another video and show this one, and I can't remember who I saw do this one. There we are, I've got my sizings on it. So I want to say it was Cori Dahmen. I'll check because I did save the video. This is it's a long pocket, goes on the top. What am I saying? It goes down the length of a journal. So it would fit on like that. It would fit along there. And then it has 3 flips that go up. And those flips are held down by tags. Isn't that clever? And then the back is a long tag. Well, I've done it as a long tag because what I want to do is put it onto something else that will be a pocket. So I will do another video of how I made that one as well. So I hope that that's been useful for you. Any feedback I would greatly appreciate. But thank you so much for joining me this morning. Thank you. Bye-bye.